Good afternoon and welcome to the Teachers College Convocation Ceremony. Please silence your electronic devices. Please keep aisles clear at all times. Plan to meet your graduate away from the main entrance at the conclusion of the ceremony. Please take your seat. The ceremony is about to begin. And now, the Alumni Council presents the TC banner to the class of 2023, represented by student speaker Kela Merle Mofa. Assembled guests, please welcome the Teachers College Doctoral graduates. The Department of Biobehavioral Sciences, led by banner bearer Daria Musavi. The Department of Health and Behavior Studies, led by banner bearer Stephen Richards. The Department of International and Transcultural Studies, led by banner bearer Joe Rena Ferry. Friends and families, please welcome the Teachers College Master's graduates. The Department of Biobehavioral Sciences, led by banner bearer Kelsey Kempner. The Department of Health and Behavior Studies, led by banner bearer Ava Baker. The Department of International and Transcultural Studies Sciences, led by banner bearer Rena Baslin. And now, please welcome the faculty of Teachers College. Please welcome the President's Party, led by Katie Embry, Chief of Staff and Secretary of the College. Please be seated. Please welcome Leslie Morse Nelson, Chair, Board of Trustees.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and welcome to all of our graduates and guests here and watching from afar. As Chair of the Teachers College Board of Trustees, I have the honor of officially opening today's ceremony and being the first to congratulate the 2023 Master's and Doctoral graduates of Teachers College. As we celebrate your accomplishments, we know it has not been easy, and each of you has had a journey marked by unexpected challenges and hardship. That is what makes today all the more meaningful. So I would say, give yourselves another big round of applause for all you have accomplished. This is a momentous day, not only because it signifies the culmination of a tremendous amount of academic effort, hours upon hours of work on papers, research, exams, presentations, clinical fieldwork, but also because it signals your commitment and your readiness to step into the world and make a difference as innovators and leaders. Some of you are heading into classrooms to launch your careers as teachers. You will be working on the front lines of our country's future, nurturing and shaping the hearts and minds of young people at a time when our nation urgently needs citizens with a clear vision of what is just and what is possible. Thank you for taking on this incredibly important work. Others of you will be shaping hearts and minds and bodies through other types of service, as artists, arts administrators, psychologists, counselors, health practitioners, neuroscientists, speech pathologists, and so much more. Together you embody what Teachers College has recognized since our founding over 130 years ago. For individuals to flourish and reach their full potential, we must support their well-being comprehensively, both in and out of school and from birth into old age. This foundational insight, this drive to address the whole of human development, is why Teachers College offers graduate programs not just in education, but also psychology, health, and leadership. It is why TC scholars have always been at the forefront of identifying and meeting emerging societal needs, establishing the nation's first programs in educational psychology, nutrition education, international education, special education, and so many other areas. And it is why so many TC graduates have gone on to be leaders in their fields. I am so proud and grateful to be here to celebrate this new class of graduates, who I know will continue to build on and to contribute to this great legacy. Now it is my very great pleasure to introduce the President of Teachers College, Thomas Bailey.
Thank you, Leslie. So welcome, class of 2023. So, is anybody here from ITS? Yeah. What about HBS? All right. And BBS? Whoa, okay. I'm sure that's not a difference in enthusiasm, just a difference in numbers. So graduates, you did it. After all the long hours and late nights, you're at the finish line and at what is recognized as the top graduate school of education, no less. So let's hear it for that. Yeah. Now look around. Give yourselves a long, loud, and thoroughly deserved round of applause. Let's go. Now, even more important, while you all deserve credit for your accomplishments, but you have also been helped by parents, siblings, spouses, partners, extended family, friends, colleagues, and of course, our wonderful TC faculty and staff. So now let's give a particularly good applause for that group. Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. Terrific. You're remarkable. And you have just illustrated the most important lesson we can teach you. Success in nearly all human endeavors results from people working together. This principle is built into the very walls of where we stand today. Here, more than 90 years ago at the United Palace Theater in Washington Heights, the neighborhood's immigrant families would gather to build community through a shared appreciation of the arts. The theater itself, which incorporates elements prevalent throughout Islamic, Buddhist, and Hindu architecture, rose to prominence during the Great Depression and World War II. During a time of immense pain and uncertainty for many, this place brought people together and gave them the opportunity to imagine a better future. Working together to courageously envision and pursue a better future is a lesson that has never been more relevant. The world is facing unprecedented challenges, From global warming to the widening health gap, to the rise of authoritarianism abroad, violence and racism here in the US, and even the uncertainty and anxiety created by developments in artificial intelligence. But one of the biggest challenges that also stands in the way of addressing many other problems is polarization and its its drivers: misunderstanding, fear, suspicion, and hatred, the hallmarks of all periods of great strife. Think of the language used to describe such times: a house divided, brother against brother, the center will not hold. These are images that can induce trepidation and prompt reflection on avoiding struggle and seeking a quiet life. But remember, every challenge represents an even greater opportunity. We are at an inflection point. But if we overcome our differences, we can launch a new chapter in the story of our society. Or as a wonderful Ethiopian saying puts it, when spiders unite, they can tie down a lion. Graduates, because of who you are and what TC has given you, you are well equipped to lead us in tying down the lions of our era. As researchers, teachers, psychologists, technologists, artists, and public health specialists, and so much more, you have the knowledge and skills to address challenges in your various fields. But even more importantly, you can create consensus and collaboration because you know the power of evidence to supersede ideology and pre-existing bias. You value any and all perspectives and experiences that enrich debate and widen the field of potential solutions. You see the promise of technology to augment our skills and maximize our shared potential, even as you are mindful of its dangers. You understand that healthy, well-resourced, and connected communities help families thrive and children develop into productive citizens. Graduates, as you continue your journey, I offer you some particularly striking examples of how TC is affirming those ideals. These efforts, in which you, alongside faculty, play key roles in some of our priority fields where we are working to magnify our influence and impact. These include the future of teaching and teacher education, mental health and wellness, sustainability and climate change, and leadership in digital innovation, education, practice, and research. Many of you have brought your preparation, expertise, and care directly to schools through student teaching opportunities, practicums across disciplines, and more, helping young people walk away with a better understanding of themselves, the world around them, and their futures. You have investigated what students need in the classroom to succeed and what educators need to help them. You have engaged with school leaders and educators who face very different circumstances and challenges in the countries where they teach, to explore how we can all learn from one another in the international exchange of ideas. But TC does not parachute into our partner schools and organizations and impose pre-existing formulas. Rather, we work together with school leaders, teachers, parents, and students to learn their needs and incorporate their ideas. It's a long-term process that can produce profound and enduring change. Others have worked with faculty to explore how we can understand and embrace one another's differences and bring together opposing views to make the world a more inclusive, less hateful place, an effort that you will need to bravely pursue throughout your careers. And as we witness the banning of books in schools, the silencing of educators, and the distortion of the role of race in our history, we know that the pursuit of equity and inclusion faces more pervasive challenges each day. But you are rising to the occasion. You have worked with faculty to reimagine how schools can function as more inclusive, engaging places for everyone. You have analyzed the barriers that hinder equitable access to health care and mental health services and have worked together to develop possible solutions. Some of you have provided brain health screenings and support to our neighbors in Harlem and Washington Heights, provided mental health care to our friends across the globe affected by displacement, or worked with faculty to provide research-based solutions to one of the greatest public health challenges our country has ever faced, gun violence. You have championed the new frontier of digital innovation, working with faculty and practitioners in the field to envision how technology will shift the future of education, health, and psychology. In collaborating with TC's Digital Futures Institute, Many of you have participated in our efforts to help teachers integrate digital learning into their classrooms and bring the public together to engage in the future of education technology. Others have pursued a better future for the telehealth services and online counseling, understanding that the simple existence of these services does not mean that the work is done. Some of you have made critical contributions to the development of sustainability practices and climate education curriculum, essential components of the future of education, as the world continues to confront the crisis of climate change. This, much like many of the issues we confront together, is not the kind of problem that any one of us can solve or fix on our own. It will take the contributions of all of us. Graduates, you've been immersed in the special place that is Teachers College, where our innovative faculty and collaborative spirit have prepared you now to lead the way on these issues. Our alumni, thousands strong, are in communities and countries worldwide doing this important work. And now you will join them as alumni to confront what is next. By itself, TC cannot solve national or global problems. Remember, the spiders work together to tie down the lion. Together, over time, we can implement meaningful change. I want to stress the word together. As a researcher who spent most of my career working to promote post-secondary success for students of color and low-income and first-generation and immigrant students in our country's community colleges, I learned that genuine improvement comes from broad collaboration. In the laboratory of the real world, there are false starts, failed experiments, new threats, and shifts in leadership and public opinion. Sometimes it seems like we are going backwards, yet ultimately nothing is insurmountable if we work together. So graduates, I do not say this lightly. You've got this. This is your moment. We need you now more than ever. You've already made us proud. Now take your knowledge, your skills, and your passion and make us, all of us, better. Thank you. All right, we've now reached a very special moment in this ceremony where we honor an extraordinary individual whose life work has substantively advanced the cause of human flourishing while upholding TC's core mission to foster excellence and equity in the fields we serve. Among those honored at past ceremonies are Nicole Hannah-Jones, Jill Biden, Stacey Abrams, Thomas Friedman, John Lewis, Maya Angelou, Jane Goodall, Jonathan Kozol, Temple Grandin, and Lee Sing Kong. This year, we honor 4 preeminent practitioners, scholars, and leaders: Dr. Miguel Cardona, Dr. Kevin Nadal, Chef Marcus Samuelson, and Ms. Eli Ye Lee Cho. I'm delighted to welcome Professor Pam Cook to the stage, joined by Interim Provost William Baldwin to introduce Chef Marcus Samuelson.
Good afternoon, and congratulations, graduates. It is my pleasure to invite our medalist, Chef Marcus Samuelson, to join me at the podium. Marcus Samuelson, today we tribute to you, our neighbor, for all you have done to contribute to the global community as a chef, restaurateur, author, food activist, and philanthropist. Those achievements are especially awe-inspiring, given the story of the start of your life. Born in Ethiopia, you were not yet 3 years old when your mother died of tuberculosis, and you and your sister were adopted by a Swedish family. They gave you a happy childhood and a strong foundation, and your grandmother Helga as your first cooking teacher. This multicultural backdrop is the root of who you are this day, a man determined to navigate all obstacles and eager to visualize and achieve your dreams. You came to the US as an apprentice chef after training in Europe with only $300 in your pocket. You worked your way up at Aquavit in Manhattan and became the youngest chef ever to win a 3-star rating from the New York Times. Already a wonder kind of Scandinavian food, you began to delve into your own roots, exploring the cuisine of Ethiopia. You won a James Beard Rising Star Chef Award in 1999, followed by many more. Were named the best chef in New York City in 2003, and served as the guest chef at the White House for President Obama's first state dinner in 2009. And I know from reading Marcus Samuelsson's memoir, Yes, Chef, that this was no small feat to accomplish. A year later, in your beloved Harlem, you opened Red Rooster, your landmark restaurant, which we can practically taste from here. And your star keeps rising with cookbooks, over 30 restaurants from the Americas to Scandinavia. Your PBS program, No Passport Required, your wins on Top Chef Masters and Chopped, and the way you endlessly champion Black excellence in the culinary world. In 2020, you put that passion to paper in your cookbook, The Rise, Black Cooks and the Soul of American Food. And you recently opened Harv and Mar with a team led by entirely women of color. And I know how much I'm looking forward to visiting. Time and again, you remind us that diversity is our greatest strength and our greatest opportunity. You have always put philanthropy and community first by serving 1.7 million meals to those in need at the height of the pandemic. In your work as the co-chair of the Careers Through Culinary Arts program for underserved youth, and in your fight for access and equity at the table and beyond. In every aspect of your life, you demonstrate creativity, sense of purpose, and dedication to the belief that good food is a civil right.
Marcus Samuelsson, you are, as you say, a chef through and through. We are honored to live in your community, to share in your mission for social justice, and to continue to shed light on all we can achieve together. In that spirit, and with heartfelt gratitude, we present you with the Teachers College Medal for Distinguished Service.
Thank you so much. Wow, that's really amazing and overwhelming, but today belongs to all of you guys. Congratulations to everything that you have achieved, because this combines your vision years ago, your family's contributions and saving to getting to this place, your commitment to yourself, but also to each other. So congratulations, because this is the day that you will cherish and you will remember for the rest of your life. I think that when you think about
each person, their start. Somebody said a false start. We all have different backgrounds. In my case, being born in a hut in Ethiopia that is really the size of 2 restaurant tables in one of my restaurants. But I was also extremely lucky and fortunate. And I had also truly the faith of meeting people, random people, that took me in and loved and believed in me. When we got to the hospital, me and my sister, the nurse actually even broke the law. Once we were healed, she took us in, which was not something you could do, but she took us in and then set us up for adoption. So that point of luck, which everyone here at some point is going to need, and that random act of goodness that everyone here in this wonderful stage and the audience will be the receiver of at some point of their life, but also have the opportunity to give to a stranger at some point that can be game-changing. That happened to me, that happened to my sister, and I would not be here without that event and that beautiful nurse in the hospital in Ethiopia. And I think about those 2 things very, very often. I also had the tribe of my family and also my mentors, the amazing mentors and family that guided me through this. Just as you will have your families and mentors. If you have mentors, if you don't have mentors, seek mentors and be mentors to others, because that's part of being a teacher, right? And it's been game-changing in my life. Most of the times, I've worked in places where the language was not my first, second, third, or fourth. I had the opportunity to be an immigrant 6 times. I worked in Japan, very confusing, but I learned a lot. Confusing for them as well, not just for me. I worked in Switzerland, and when I learned French, they switched over to German. When I learned German, they switched to Romanish. So, same thing there. And then I had the opportunity to go to France to a 3-star Michelin restaurant. And here is where really something happened to me that was both an opportunity but a very hard thing to deal with at that point. I was taught that my dreams should be lower and I should not aim as high. And I say to you, aim high and dream even higher. You're going to need to collaborate. You're going to need to stay curious. You really want to be community-driven. When I was in France, I was told that I could never own a restaurant because of because the color of my skin. It was very confusing, but I had then my family to go back to and my mentors, and eventually we collectively came with the idea to come to America, where I knew on the plane that I could add value, and I did have my $300 in savings. But I came into a place where I was part of a community, a Swedish community right away, and little by little could actually make a little change in the restaurant scene here in New York City. I was able to hire people, young cooks, so in my world, I can make a difference. One of the most important things as teachers of course is that you can be part of making a change and changing your environment. Eventually, when I got in the full position to really change and really think about what was never available when I was coming up, I focused in on how can we strategically build places for chefs of color to both feel safe, but also have a strategic plan to have management and leadership jobs in our culinary field. And that was the beginning of Red Rooster Harlem. Harlem has given me a lot, me and my family, and you never know when is the time when you're going to be pushed to a really tough situation, but some of your greatest work might come out of that situation. For us, it happened to be during the pandemic, where we had to close the restaurant in order to be basically a soup kitchen and start serving the community together with World Centered Kitchen, 300 people a day, 500 people a day, 800 people a day, 1,500 people today for months and months and months. So you never know what random act, what horrible act, what incredible act can happen that impacts your community, but that event, that random event, could actually be the point of event that you can jump in and actually make a change in your community. So I say this, if someone can come from a hut from Ethiopia and be so privileged and have the opportunity that I have, I know that you can make a change in your community as long as you collaborate, you're curious, you aim high, and you dream even higher. Congratulations, class of 23. Thank you very much.
And now, please welcome student speaker Kella Merlane Moffat from the Department of International and Transcultural Studies.
Before we begin with salutations, allow me to note that as part of our commitment to education and equity, Teachers College acknowledges the injustices that Indigenous peoples have faced and continue to face in the United States. And Teachers College acknowledges that we live and learn on the ancestral and traditional homelands of the Lenape people, who were displaced when Dutch settlers colonized the Native American land of Manhattan, now known as Manhattan. We honor and pay respect to all Indigenous peoples by recognizing their relationship with this land. Good afternoon, President Bailey, trustees, faculty, staff, families, and most importantly, the class of 2023. Go ahead, cheer for yourselves. I am truly honored to chat with you all today. It would be negligent for me to not acknowledge that today is Haitian Flag Day. Exactly 220 years ago, my ancestors adopted the flag of our revolution, which led to the freedoms of Black people everywhere. I honor them and hope that their revolutionary spirit is one that we adopt in our daily lives. For many of us, we may recall a moment in our early education when we were told by a teacher to use your listening ears. I believe the lesson in that was not solely meant for our teachers to get our attention, but rather it was designed to be a guiding crux of our lives. In many ways, in the professions that we are entering, the underlying notion exists for us to be a voice for the voiceless. But I'd like to challenge you all today. Instead of being a voice, what would it look like to be an ear? To hear people and listen to what they say, deeply, intentionally. Imagine the ways in which we would be able to decolonize our thought patterns and use reflection to ensure that the actions we take give rise to our collective freedoms and abilities to succeed. I invite you all to close your eyes and consider. After leaving this ceremony today, where do you want to be? Hold on to the image and remember that to get there, you will sometimes need to pause. Not lose momentum, but have intentional moments to do thinking work so you can advance in your journey. As you make your way, always consider, do your goals align with liberation, or do they further perpetuate the oppression of others who do and do not look like me? Whatever it is that you do, be sure to center the voices that are oftentimes disregarded. I ask that if you're going to say something, make it matter, make it meaningful, make it count. This is not to say you will not make mistakes, we are human after all, but is a reminder to lead with critical consciousness. Understand that we do not have all the answers, and that by no means are we experts in anything but our own lived experiences. Throughout my time at TC, one of my favorite classes was a theater literacy course taught by alumna Rebecca Bellingham. One thing she said stays with me, and I hope it stays with you. You don't get any insights without noticing first. I urge you to work hard at seeing yourself for who you are and connecting with others deeply. Make it a practice to look at people, not just at face value, but to greatly understand their complexities and nuances. Never be afraid to show people you love them and care. Though, in order to do all of this, first start with yourself. It can be quite easy for us to push ourselves beyond our limits. But if the pandemic has taught us anything, let it be to appreciate time for what it is. In this moment, we're graduating. This is our out and open culmination of hard work. But let's not forget it was the small, hidden moments that got us here. Every late night at Gottsman, or every time we took advantage of an opportunity at TC Next. Hard work was in each day we committed to becoming better educators, stronger advocates, and more effective communicators. This is the moment we get to celebrate, but all those moments deserve praise too. Remember, the small things are worth celebrating. They always will be. Congratulations to the class of 2023. May you be abundant, may you be critical, and may you recognize your responsibility to ensure our interconnected existences survive to see our collective emancipation. Thank you.
Please welcome Richard Fields from the Music and the Music Education Program, Department of Arts and Humanities. And now, to recognize each of the master's degree candidates are Tom Rock, Vice Provost of Student Affairs, and Denise Bonetta, Executive Director of Graduate Student Life and Development.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon. Congratulations, graduates and families. We will now read the names of the graduates with a Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Philosophy, and Master of Science degrees by academic department.
We now welcome the master's degree graduates from the Department of Biobehavioral Sciences. Kelsey Kempner.
Nicole Mishler.
Kevin Riggins.
Marty Luby.
Sarah Ehrlich.
Rachel Harvey.
Nina Bernstein.
Mason Warble.
Romy Wilkinson.
Jordan Bernstein.
Natalie Lyman.
Annie Blum.
Amy Clemens.
Claire Alex.
Guanyang Liu.
Charlito Chumtney.
Elizabeth Whip.
Vivian Jonokichi.
Stephanie Chen.
Alba Espinal.
Madison LaSalle.
Oluwati Milie Unufuaku.
Sheldon Sucre.
Shani Alkarif.
Mikal Puniri.
Lauren Shom.
Gina Marie Correnti Garcia.
Crystal Joy Espana.
Carol Berrios.
Miles Morales.
Emma Marie Cruz.
Hannah Isabel Alejandrino.
Julia Gonzalez.
Elizabeth Barbier.
Sabrina Marquez.
Valentina Jano Orozco.
Catherine Harris.
Julia Hansen.
Mikal Gomez.
Marilyn Gonzalez.
Mindy Quiros.
Belin Asofra Macron.
Uhad Alharbi.
Arka Hain.
Alexandra Peller.
Abigail Mickman.
Devin Lee.
Ali Valde.
Phoebe Robinson.
Haley Vandenberg.
Arub Khan.
Samantha Leonard.
Aparna Narayan.
Emily Coe.
Jessica Jung.
Haley Duggan.
Andrew Urefiche.
Zuting Kao.
Emily Montaro.
Ariana Olivares.
Gurija Chatufale.
Chanel Alejandra Ramirez Delgado.
Sarah Bennett.
Mahima Golani.
Noam Eckhouse.
Sporty Femuri.
Elizabeth Arati.
Huijin Zhou.
Yuhuan Lin.
Essence Kamaria.
Ruskin Del Mondo.
Caroline Graves.
Pepina Lapsatis.
Claire Halloran.
Carly Dash.
Emma Hanselman.
Bonnie Young.
Kai Gilchrist.
Lisa Woody.
Kenny Jesus Fabara.
Erin Joyce.
Shelby Denny.
Amanda Theodore.
Amanda Tulla.
Samaya Fatima.
Genevieve Robillard.
Janice Marshall.
Danny Ma.
Joanna G.
Jesse Chi Wei Zhang.
Melanie Formosa.
Jacqueline Cavallini.
Jean Richard Joseph.
Olivia Gardner.
Francesca White Levin.
Naying Liu.
Rebecca Scholl.
Joseph Aneros.
Diana Garcia.
Sage Loriz.
Soye Han.
Catherine Chan.
Liradana Vata.
Catherine White.
Kayana May Aravallo.
Jasmine Marie Konanen.
Rochelle Chi.
Jane Toe.
Jennifer Torres.
Noemi Alexandra Boter. Isabella Titovo. That concludes the graduates from the Department of Biobehavioral Sciences. I now ask the faculty from the Department of Biobehavioral Sciences to stand if you're able, and let's recognize our graduates.
We now welcome the master's degree graduates from the Department of Health and Behavior Studies. Ava Baker.
Danny Hong.
Camilla Lyon.
Victoria Jasonowski.
Emily Blank.
Catherine Guy.
Amanda Crawley.
Sadia Baksh.
Michelle Wen.
Noreen Felixshire.
Sean Rafferty.
Dylan Rab.
Alexis Kubrick.
Lauren DeCunto.
Shannon Scott.
Julia Clocks.
Claire Holmes.
Serena Pratt.
Nadia Mavshavsky.
Oliver Gonzalez Yoakum.
Fengui Dong.
Joanna Gunderson.
Yejin Lee.
Jane Kudia.
Stephanie Lim.
Minsha OU.
Catherine Shillman.
Emma Gangbar.
Allison Kay.
Sophia Nursesova.
Yi Shin.
Isaac Samuel Lee.
Jordan Luxembourg.
Abigail Breeding.
Nick Young.
Kiara Menham.
Alana Osruff.
Aaron Fitzpatrick.
Tierney Whalen.
Ida Sai.
Chiyu Young.
Zaiwa Chao.
Jin Tian.
Muwan Wang.
Xinyi Xu.
Yuja Zhang.
Ting She.
Jiman Chu.
Jeping Li.
Chloe Kim.
Dana Williams.
Natalie Lindenberg.
Shrivevi Pudmanaban.
Ann Capelli,
Cameron Rodriguez,
Maylee Sutton,
Evelyn Navarro,
Shinrong Yo,
Nabiha Khan,
Vivian Enibogu,
Yushi Chen,
Ibrahim Bensuda,
Juliana Taylor,
Teresa Sheberg,
Avery McNally Boner,
Allison Patricia Van Overberg,
Hannah McCabe,
Jenny Shaw,
Natasha Harris,
Juliana Kedding,
Isabella Manaharo,
Anoki Nanavati,
Jerrianne Kusipug,
Chun Ling Wu,
Kaylee Ann Martinez,
Catherine Wynn,
Fulora Chung,
Genevieve Spitz,
Emily Scholes,
Alisa June,
Hannah Walker,
Ileana Trevino Contla,
Camila Miller,
Daniela Hinojosa,
Lauren Rose Madden,
Margaret Ahern,
Nadia Syed,
Susanna Lee,
Amy Macaluso,
Natasha Overton,
Sofia Oliveira Suarez,
Eleanor Smith,
Charlotte Bruzzy,
Lauren Roper,
Olivia Hazy,
Victoria Rinsum,
Catherine Baird,
Tantan Wynn,
Nikki Shuck,
Jamila Crawford,
Meryl Grossman,
Georgina Kirby Smith,
Marcela Barrias,
Ana Zelaya,
Chinju Dai,
Gianna Licio,
Camila Gonzalez,
Zhaoan Chi,
Shiyi Wong,
Tianyu Soon,
Gimo Lee,
Celia Casillo, Rollin Lau, That concludes the graduates from the Department of Health and Behavioral Studies. I now ask the department faculty to rise if you're able, and let's recognize our master's graduates.
We now welcome the master's degree graduates from the Department of International and Transcultural Studies. Kella Merlane Mofat. Claudia Hui.
Rena Boslin,
Angelique Crocker.
Lucy Patterson,
Xiaoyu Zhang.
Amanda Fulmer Bresak,
Xinyan Zheng.
Sinan Liu,
Tianxin Li.
Hao Yue Wang,
Tianshu Ron.
Alexandra Craig,
Yisen Liu.
Yahan Yan,
Chen Wang.
Qian Qian,
Laura Itzel Carbajal Montalvo.
Sada Muhammad,
Gabriela Chukan Ugarte.
Sumit Kumar Karn,
Ayano Yukimoto.
Ashrin Leomar,
Yining Jia.
Ria Chen,
Taylor Schulte.
Ania Borges,
Jiashuan Ruan.
Angelica Torres.
Jialu Yin.
Christina Heidelberg.
Alexandria Rodriguez.
Zichin Mu.
Richa Hoysala.
Vuntita Churiwal.
Ye Huang.
Deepshika Murugunathan.
Nicholas Hafner.
Lindsay Cunningham.
Chenyi Zhuao.
Jean Eves Terringer.
Yang Yang Liang.
Chayua Chen.
Yuka Shikana Kanara.
Linfeya Zhang.
Yushan Zheng.
Zining Zhu.
Mengi Li.
Jieyi Swen.
Iva Easterwood.
Jade Scheinwald.
Ishuan Lin.
Mong Zhang.
Maiko Mura.
Manben Bernes Mayun.
Nir Aish.
Beva Shyam.
Brian Villa.
Elena DiPiatro.
Nicole Ricci.
Ping Shu.
Eric Chen.
Hinako Miyazaki.
Kei Ding.
Yu Sao.
Maria Espinosa.
Imang Soon.
Amanda Petraglia.
Welton Silva. Flavia Pasos Cardillo. That concludes the graduates from the Department of International and Transcultural Studies. I now ask the faculty from the department to rise if you are able. Let's recognize our master's graduates. And that concludes the recognition of the master's candidates. Thank you.
And now, we will begin the hooding ceremony for TC's doctoral graduates. Each department will be presented by their chair, and each graduate will be hooded by a member of the faculty. Please welcome Lori Quinn, Professor of Movement Science and Kinesiology, and Chair of the Department of Biobehavioral Sciences.
Thank you very much to the very enthusiastic Department of Biobehavioral Sciences. Woo! The Department of Biobehavioral Sciences encompasses programs in communication sciences and disorders, neuroscience and education, and movement sciences and kinesiology. Our programs focus on the application of the biological, physiological, and behavioral sciences underlying human communication, movement, and function. We are the Department of Walking, Talking, and Thinking. Our students use the training and scientific knowledge obtained during their graduate studies to enhance the functional abilities and health of people of all ages and health statuses.
We now welcome the doctoral degree candidates from the Department of Biobehavioral Sciences. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Lori Quinn, Professor of Movement Science and Kinesiology. Grace Ann Herard. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Carol Garber, Professor of Movement Sciences. Daria Musavi. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Erica Levy, Professor in Communication and Science Disorders, Ki-Young Hei Wang. That concludes the doctoral graduates from the Department of Biobehavioral Sciences. I now ask the faculty in the department to rise if you're able. Let's recognize our doctoral graduates.
Please welcome Loudon Jerome, Professor of Psychology and Education and Chair of the Department of Health and Behavior Studies.
Congratulations, graduates. Good afternoon. I'm thrilled to celebrate our graduates from the Department of Health and Behavior Studies. The mission of the Department of Health and Behavior Studies is to improve health, learning, and social well-being in schools and other settings, and throughout the lifespan. Our department prepares scholars and practitioners who address problems in society that no single disciplinary approach can achieve. Our graduates make significant contributions to work on the behavioral and social determinants of health and learning. Graduates in our health studies programs are prepared to be leaders in health education, nutrition, nursing education, and diabetes education. Graduates from our applied educational psychology programs are leaders in school psychology, and one of our 3 special ed programs, the applied behavior analysis programs, the deaf education program, and the intellectual disabilities and autism programs. Congratulations, graduates.
We now welcome the doctoral degree graduates from the Department of Health and Behavior Studies. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Loudon Jerome, Professor of Psychology and Education, Catherine Gaspar. The following doctoral students are being hooded by John Allegrante, Charles Irwin Lambert, Professor of Health, Behavior, and Education, Ronaldo De Leon, Jr., Maria Lee Cahoon, Hey Sung Liz Yee. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Prerna Arora, Associate Professor of Psychology and Education, Olivia Kit Choi Koo. The following doctoral students are being hooded by Chuck Bash, Richard March Ho, Professor of Health and Education. Aisha Jawed. Randy Arias. Emma Kwin. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Jessica Dudek, Director of the Transdisciplinary Behavior Analytic Program. Lena Alshoiman. The following doctoral students are being hooded by Daniel Feenup, Associate Professor of Psychology and Education. Tanya Bajwa. Maninther Burke. Wenhui Zhang. The following doctoral students are being hooded by Robert Fullilove, Professor of Socio-Medical Sciences, Columbia University Medical Center. Jonathan Johnson. Shaman Radcliffe. Shamika Williams. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Maria Hartman, lecturer. Marian Patricia Bella Francisco. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Pam Cook, Mary Swartz Rose, Associate Professor of Nutrition and Education. Amanda Harp. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Ben Levitt, Associate Professor of Psychology and Education. Lisa Sazniak. The following doctoral students are being hooded by Kathleen O'Connell, Isabel Maitland Stewart, Professor Emerita of Nursing Education. Marilyn Campbell. Heather Martin. Aw. Christine Lupiani. Samantha Juan. Stephen Richards. Timothy Parker. The following doctoral students are being hooded by Sonali Rajan, Associate Professor of Health Education. Lucia Afanu. Zara Ludani. Upeksha Mevani. Vivian Polakal. Vanna Som. Martha Mutes. Elena Efron. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Helen Stevens, lecturer. Elise Frank. The following doctoral students are being hooded by Michelle Adlam, Assistant Professor of Clinical Nursing at Columbia University. Kimberly R. Bunting. Julie Jacob. And Zinga Farrell. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Davinia Gregory Kameka, Assistant Professor of Arts Administration. Shanae Birch. That concludes the doctoral graduates from the Department of Health and Behavior Studies. I now ask the faculty in the department to rise if you're able. Let's recognize our doctoral graduates.
Please welcome Hervé Varen, the Gardner-Cowles Professor of Anthropology and Education and Chair of the Department of International and Transcultural Studies.
Hi. It is my great honor to present to you our new peers, the new doctors. They come from all over the world, and they went all over the world. They went to Colombia, South Africa, Azerbaijan, China, Washington, D.C., the Valley in California, as well as this island of Manhattan. And they came back reporting on what human beings can do when working together. And they moved our mission. First, to understand all education as a global process involving all, here and there, now and then. Second, to analyze educational processes in their full contexts. And third, to develop and evaluate policies, curricula, and pedagogies, particularly in the most difficult settings, like refugee camps, indigenous villages, and other settings recovering from conflict and violence. Thank you.
We now welcome the doctoral degree graduates from the Department of International and Transcultural Studies. The following doctoral students are being hooded by Hervé Varen, Gardner-Cowles Professor of Anthropology and Education. Miranda Hanson Hunt. Daniel Rudas Burgos. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Thea Abu El-Haj, Professor, Education Program at Barnard College. Corinne Cantor. The following doctoral students are being hooded by Mary Mendenhall, Associate Professor of International and Comparative Education. Ariana Pacifico. Romina Quesada Morales. Danielle Falk. Daniel Shepard. Junjane Gao. Martha Iris Rosas. The following doctoral students are being hooded by Oren Pismoni-Levy, Associate Professor of International and Comparative Education. Erica Kessler. Abbas Abbasov. The following doctoral student is being hooded by Lalitha Vasudevan, Professor of Technology and Education. Jorina Ferry. That concludes the doctoral graduates from the Department of International and Transcultural Studies. I now ask the department faculty from ITS to please rise if you're able. Let's recognize and congratulate our doctoral graduates. And that concludes the hooding of our doctoral graduates. Thank you.
And now, for the presentation of the graduates, please welcome Interim Provost William Baldwin.
Thank you. And I promise to be short. President Bailey, Chair Nelson, trustees, faculty, staff, and guests. It's my pleasure as the interim provost of the college to present to you our master's graduates from Teachers College. Graduates, when I say your degree, please stand if you are able, and I'd ask everyone to hold their applause until we're through recognizing the graduates. I know that's not easy to do. Would all the Master of Arts recipients please stand to be recognized and remain standing? Would all the Masters of Science graduates please stand to be recognized and remain standing? Would our Master of Education graduates also please stand to be recognized and remain standing? And would our Masters of Philosophy graduates also stand to be recognized? Now, it is also my pleasure to present to you the doctoral graduates from Teachers College. Please hold your applause again until everyone has been recognized. Would our Doctor of Education graduates please stand to be recognized and remain standing? And would our Doctor of Philosophy graduates please stand to be recognized and remain standing? President Bailey, I commend these graduates for their commitment to a wiser, healthier, and more equitable and more just world. I look forward to the positive change they will make as they take their place as leaders in our society. And now, applaud.
Graduates, please remain standing as our ceremony comes to an end. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band about that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls sit you hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Stop. Before we leave, let me tell y'all a little something. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. I said, Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. It's Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe it, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Say what?
It's about damn time. In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. Feeling fussy, walking in my Balenciennes, trying to bring out the fabulous. Cause I give a fuck way too much. I'ma need like 2 shots in my cup. Wanna get up, wanna get down. That's how I feel right now.
If you love somebody, better tell them why they're here. They just may run away from you. You'll never know what went well. Then again, it just depends on how long the time is left for you. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it in for a while, eh? Take me with me if I can. Been feeling like this since a child.
It's about damn time.
Something big, I feel it happening out of my control. Pushing, running, and it's grabbing me. Feel it in my bones like, oh, wow, wow, wow. Something big, I feel it happening, oh, wow, wow, wow. Something big.
It's about damn time.
I had a dream so big and loud. I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretched my hands out to the sky. We danced with monsters through the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh.
It's about damn time.
This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life.
Turn down the music, turn down the lights. I got a feeling I'm gonna be alright. Okay, alright. It's about damn time. Turn up the music. Let's celebrate. I got a feeling nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. Ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. Everybody say. Can't stop the feeling. Can't stop the feeling in my body. Break it down. Got this feeling in my body. Can't stop the feeling. Got this feeling in my body. Can't stop the feeling. Got this feeling in my body. I got a feeling. It's about damn time.
That tonight's gonna be a good night. That
rockin' to it. Please don't stop the music.
The cup of life, this is the one. Now is the time, don't ever stop. Push it along, gotta be strong. Push it along, right to the top. You really want it, yeah. You really want it, yeah. Here we go, ale, ale, ale. Go, 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 ale, ale, ale. Tonight's the night, we're gonna celebrate.
Oh, been so down and under pressure. I'm way too fine to be distressed, yeah. Oh, not the girl I was or used to be. It's your right,
That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like the rain is on the roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. If you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Give me a second, I need to get my story straight. My friends are in the bathroom, getting higher than the Empire State. My lover, she's waiting for me just across the bar. My seat's been taken by some sunglasses, asking about a scar. And I know I gave it to you months ago. I know you're trying to forget, but between the drinks and some things, the holes in my apologies, you know, I'm trying hard to take it back.
it's about that time. I'm coming out tonight. 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 Okay, alright. It's about that time.
With this time, I go for mine. I get to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. Go for mine. I get to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. I'ma get on this TV, I'ma put down. Hey, welcome to the good life with the CLD. Won't even get pulled over in they new feed. The good life, let's go on a living spree. They say the best things in life are free. The good life, it feel like Atlanta, it feel like LA, it feel like Miami, it feel like NY. Summertime shy.